Friends, I'm Engineer Tariq and you people are watching my channel Civil Engineering with Tariq. फ्रेंड, कुछ वीडियोस हैं ऑटोकैड के बारे में जो कि थ्योरेटिकल है। इससे पहले मैंने बहुत सारे वीडियोस ऑटोकैड के बारे में डिटेल के साथ बनाए थे जो कि प्रैक्टिकल थे। तो मैंने समझा कि अगर किसी को कोई दुश्वारी हो, कोई मुश्किल हो ऑटोकैड के बारे में, तो हो सकते हैं उनको इससे एग्ज़ाम में भी कुछ MCQs आ सकते हैं। तो आइए देखते हैं। सो व्हाट इज़ ऑटोकैड? इट इज़ अ सॉफ्टवेयर यूज्ड फॉर ड्राफ्टिंग. What is GUI? Graphical User Interface. The monitor displays graphics window through which we interact with the computer. So components of GUI: title bar, menu bar, standard toolbar, layers toolbar, properties toolbar, drawing area, and draw toolbar. So modify toolbar, command window, status bar, user coordinate system icon, model and layout tabs and crosshair cursor. So introduction to GUI: choose tools and then select option. Option dialog box will open. In open dialog box, click on display. It mainly deals with scroll bar, screen menu, drawing window, color, font and crosshair size. शॉर्ट की इसका है OP. In option dialog box, click on drafting. It deals with auto snap, marker size and color. In option dialog box, click on selection. It deals with pick box size and color. Coordinate system. Two types of coordinate system. To use coordinate values to specify a point, enter an X value and a Y value separated by a comma, X, comma, Y. The X value is the positive or negative distance in the units along the horizontal axis. The Y value is the positive or negative distance in units along the vertical axis. 2D Cartesian and polar coordinates. Cartesian coordinates, you can use absolute or relative Cartesian rectangular coordinates to locate points when creating objects. Polar coordinates, you can use absolute or relative polar coordinates, distance and angle to locate points when creating object. Two types of coordinate system: absolute coordinate system. Absolute coordinate values are based on the origin 0, 0, where the x and y axis intersect. Use an absolute coordinate when you know the precise x and y values of the point coordinate. For example, the coordinates 3 and 4 specify a point 3 units along the x-axis and 4 units along the y-axis from the origin. A relative coordinate system. Relative coordinate system values are based on the last point entered. Use a relative coordinate when you know the position of a point in a relation to the previous point. To specify a relative coordinate, precede the coordinates with an example at the rate of sign. For example, the coordinates at the rate of 3 and 4 specify a point units along the x-axis and 4 units along the y-axis from the last point specified. Example. For example, absolute coordinate system. So example, for example, absolute coordinate system: to draw a line beginning at the x value of -2 and a y value of 1 and an end point at 3 and 4. Make the following entries on the command line. Enter the coordinates using the following format: x, y. X represents the distance and direction along the horizontal axis from the origin 0, 0. Y represents the distance and direction along the vertical x from the origin 0, 0. Command is equal to line from point -2, 1 and 2.3, 4. AutoCAD locates the line as follows. The following example relative coordinate system draws a line whose endpoint is 5 units in the x direction and 0 units in the y direction from the start point at the absolute coordinate -2, 1. Pressing enter. Enter the coordinates using the following format. At the rate of x comma y, x represents the distance and direction along the horizontal axis from the last point entered, and y represents the distance and direction along the vertical axis from the last point entered. Command line from point -2 comma 1 to point at the rate of 5 comma 0. तो फ्रेंड आज के लिए इतना ही मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो पे। तब तक के लिए मुझे दीजिए इजाज़त। अल्लाह हाफिज़।